2 or 3 weeks ago, I uploaded this video and I asked the question, could this genre become one of my favourites? And it's kind of getting up there. I've kind of been hooked. It's definitely becoming a favourite. After that video, I had quite a few, like I had a list of anime that Yuri anime that I actually wanted to watch. And I was also recommending some that I had already had on my list, some that I didn't have on my list. Thank you very much to the people who did. And one of them that was on that list was this one called Adachi, and I was going to say Shirayuki, but Shirayuki is a totally different anime manga. Go watch it, by the way, Snow White with the Red Hair. It's really, really good. However, that is not what we're talking about today. The one that I am actually talking about is Adachi and Shimamura. Try saying that when you're drunk. Probably not going to work very well. But anyway, I was recommended this one. This is one that I had also seen recommended on Reddit as well. It was quite like highly recommended by people actually. So I was like, yes, I am sold. I will go and watch it. So I went and watched it. And I will have to say, I love slice of life. Slice of life is actually one of my favourite genres, just for, I don't know, if you're having a bad day or if you're having a good day. If you're just having a day, it's such a good genre to watch. There's no commitment to it, I feel. Obviously, like, the stories are always really nice, blah blah blah, but it's a type of genre that you can just sit down and you can watch and you can walk away and do what you need to do, because, well, it's not like when I was watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I could not stop watching it. Like, I couldn't put it down. Put it down, turn it off. Yeah, I couldn't turn it off. And it was just, you know, that's the type of show that you kind of need to watch and just watch and watch and watch. However, with Slice of Life, it is the type of genre that you can sit and watch. You can sit and watch 5 minutes of it. You know, you can sit and watch 5 hours of it. And it's awesome. I love it very much. It's also something that I can quite easily watch, like, during my lunch breaks at work, because I can watch a couple of episodes, I can put it down, and I can get back to work. They're also like a safety show, so a show that I can sit down and watch if I'm feeling if I'm having a bad day or anything like that. The type of shows that just feel good. I love Slice of Life. It's awesome. So when I heard that this one was a Slice of Life Yuri anime, I was like, I'm in. Let's go. So I watched it, and I have some thoughts on it. Some good, some bad. There was a couple of things that are a bit and a couple of things that I just really, really, really loved about it. I'll start with the stuff that I loved a lot, because so basically the whole point of this video is just me talking about it, because I don't really have anyone to talk about these types of shows with, but like I just want to talk about it. So anyway, things that I loved about it. When I started watching this, I'm an artist, and the things that catch my eye very, very quickly in any show is the animation, is the art style, because that is something that I just love. I also love going and checking out the manga. Even if I'm not going to read the whole thing, I want to see the art in the manga as well. I am getting more into reading manga these days, so there's a lot of shows that I've watched that I'm going back and actually reading the manga for as well. Anyway, so the first thing that drew my eye obviously was the animation in this, because it is gorgeous. So one of the things that I loved the most about Citrus, as I was saying in my last video, was the absolutely gorgeous animation style of it. There was just this, like, there was so much additional colour, there was so much additional detail in, like, the animation of it. It was just such a beautiful animation style, and I felt like Adachi and Shimamura, it had that bit of, like, Citrus beauty to it, but it wasn't, like, overly done. So and the thing, like, one of the things that I always remember so clearly about Citrus is the knees had this, like, filter over them and a wee bit extra colour, which I thought was really, really, really pretty. Like, not just the knees, but, like, the extremities always had that. And Adachi and Shimamura had that too, but just not as, like, emphasised, which I thought was really, really nice. So very pretty. The soundtrack again, very, very nice. Who did the soundtrack? Okay, I went to search in there to try and find out who actually done the OST, because I like the soundtrack. I always like to find out, like, have I actually seen this composer, or not seen them, heard them in something else? And I couldn't find, like, well, I could find the composer, it was Yayo Toro, but I can't find out what else they've done. There's no, like, Wikipedia page or anything. But the soundtrack, gorgeous. It was so, so pretty. It was just this, like, it was just good. I'm not very good at explaining music. It was nice. I liked it. It made my ears happy. Cool. Art, brilliant. Animation, brilliant. Music, brilliant. Story, where do I start with the story? Probably, like, I'll give you a little, like, you know, breakdown of the plot. Well, is there a plot? I don't know if you could call it a plot. It's basically a slice of life. You have Adachi and you have Shimamura. They are two girls who go to the same school. They are in their first year of high school, and Adachi skives the classes all the time. She's like, she never goes to class and she always goes up to this area. And then one day, this girl, Shimamura, joined her. I can't actually remember if it was Shimamura and then Adachi, or Adachi then Shimamura. Can't remember. But they joined each other in their skiving, and they eventually became friends. They played ping pong, you know, they got along very well, and they decided, we're friends now. But this is of course a Yuri anime, so there is going to be some kind of female romance at some point. But you know, one of the things one of the things I actually really enjoyed about this is you got like a few episodes from like Shimamura's side, and then you got a few episodes like in Shimamura's head, and then you got a few episodes in Adachi's head, which I thought was actually really good, because obviously most of the time you go into a show and if you have any narration, it tends to be from, you know, the main protagonist, so it's always their thoughts and feelings that you hear. I really enjoyed the fact that you got to hear from both of the girls throughout this show. I did think it was a nice little, you got a more like rounded story because you got it from both sides and both perspectives. Anyway, I was actually talking about the plot. Basically it is just about these two girls getting closer. They seem to like be trying to get back into classes and stuff, and both girls have some kind of like, I mean, Adachi clearly has major anxiety in her life, and she has a bunch of other stuff that's kind of going on in the background as well that it's kind of sad. I will get on to a little bit more of the nitty-gritty of this, but basically that is the premise. It's a slice of life. It just follows these two girls and the friendship that they're building with each other. There is also two side characters as well, Hino and Nagafuji. They're like best friends, and they're friends with Shimamura, and Shimamura introduces them to Adachi. But there's also like some kind of thing going on with them at the side as well. I'm going to go on to a little bit more of the nitty gritty details. That does have some minor spoilers in it. Let's get into it. I had a little bit of a bother with Adachi in that she seemed to be very possessive, very controlling. It is based on these very young girls who are in their first year of high school, so she doesn't really know, you know, her emotions are high. It seems like she doesn't understand her feelings at all. So it could just be that not being able to understand her feelings has tumbled her down into this obsession, it seems. And actually it does talk about a little bit about obsession. I did have a problem with that, in that I think they leaned very heavily onto the obsession part of it. So yeah, it seems more like obsession than love. That's something that I wasn't too keen on in their relationship. Also the fact that Shimamura, she just doesn't seem to care about anything. Whether that is, I mean, she does seem to be a little bit depressed, so it might actually be that, because when you're depressed, your feelings and your emotions and attachments to things are a little bit more difficult, so that might be what that is, because we've not really had an in-depth look at their backgrounds. I don't know if we are, which I'll get onto later on, but yeah, it just seems that Adachi is very obsessive and Shimamura doesn't really give a fuck about anything. So it's things that in the long run, is Adachi maybe going to teach Shimamura how to love more, and is Shimamura maybe going to teach Adachi how to distance herself, or at least remove that obsession from her personality? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that was something I didn't like about it. However, their friendship is wonderful. I do really enjoy their friendship. I just don't like the attachment that Adachi has compared to the distance of Shimamura, because I think it seems pretty clear what Adachi wants, whether or not Shimamura is choosing to ignore it or she is just oblivious. I don't know. She lets her, you know, hold her hand, she lets her sit between her legs, she lets her do all these things that definitely mean a lot more to Adachi, and it's quite clear it means a lot more to Adachi. Shimamura just doesn't really seem to have those types of reciprocal feelings. Anyway, that's one thing that I didn't like. Or two things: Adachi's obsession and Shimamura's detachment. Maybe it is going to come to something in the end, but right now, where it ended, not too keen on that. It was kind of how I felt about I'm in love with the villainess. Having the sort of a bully and bullied relationship was something that I didn't really like, but overall I ended up liking the show and I ended up liking the characters. Kind of the same thing with this, as I don't really like this attachment detachment thing going on, but it's something that I'm kind of looking past to get to the meat of the story and to enjoy the actual story. One thing that I wasn't, number 3, thought on it anyway, although I am moaning about these parts, it does not mean that I disliked the show. I really enjoyed it. So just please keep that in mind when I'm talking about these. Nagafuji and Hina, their relationship, and their role in the show seems to be trying to show Adachi the closeness that she wants with Shimamura, and she's seeing them being really, really close and doing the things like having a bath together and things like that. I kind of feel like they missed an opportunity there to have the relationship between Hino and Nagafuji, have that as like a comparison for the opposite of, oh, well, these are like really close friends, so why do I have these feelings for Shimamura when they're not doing this? So is this not normal? Am I maybe a little bit more involved in my emotions with Shimamura because they're not doing that? I kind of feel like that would have been quite a good like role for them in the show. I love their friendship, like Hino and Nagafuji. I think they have a very good friendship. It's very fun, and I think it's pretty clear that they like each other in more ways than they're not meant to, but like in more ways than a friendship is meant to, or at least they're very close enough to. I do feel like, although it is, they are a bit of like comedy relief at the same time as being this, I don't know, maybe that is going to be the realisation in the end that, oh, these two are more coupley than they are friends, and I've been trying to mimic them with Shimamura, and oh my goodness, am I actually in love with Shimamura? So yeah, that dynamic, I love the dynamic. I think that they kind of missed an opportunity for the roles that they played in the show. And one thing that I just don't understand at all through the whole show, and I was waiting for something to happen with it, and that's Yashiro. Like, who the hell is Yashiro? What's she doing there? Why is she here? Is there a reason to her character? Like, I honestly don't know what her character's like role is. She seems to have some kind of magical ability, or her hair's magical or something. I didn't think it was that type of show, but you see her like floating and her hair sparkles, and I thought it was just like, oh, it's, you know, cute anime girl hair, yay. But no, like, it seems to be a thing of the show. Like, at one point she says to Shimamura's sister, like, let's find out why my hair sparkles like this. It's really, really weird. But she doesn't really seem to like add much to the story, other than she seems to be doing a little bit more for Shimamura's personality in the manga. Like, she seems to be helping Shimamura realise, you know, things about her own personality and how she was when she was younger, which is not really explored for the time that I've read it. So yeah, it's there's obviously something about her character that is probably going to come into it later on. But yeah, that was very strange. She's a very, very strange addition. However, Sarah Wiedenhef, who voices her, is absolutely brilliant in that role. Like, that character is just perfect for her. And her voice is just brilliant for that, you know, this cute little Yashiro. So that is like a few things I was like not 100% too keen on it, or do you know, I don't want to say I wasn't keen on it. I am really, really enjoying it, and I'm kind of sad that there was only 12 episodes. I think the biggest problem I have with it is probably Adachi's obsession. I feel like the characters could have had a bit more of a better relationship if she wasn't as obsessive. Now, as I said, this might actually just be all to do with the fact that she doesn't understand the feelings that she's having. It's even said at one point in the show, like, who was it? Like, the fortune teller. The fortune teller, by the way, who just seems to be like dotted around everywhere. Brilliant. But yeah, the fortune teller says to Shimamura, you're going to have girl troubles. And Shimamura's like, yeah, but you know I'm a girl, right? So quite clearly, even in this universe, whatever's going on, whether it's like the real world or whatever, it still seems like two girls being together still isn't like the norm. So maybe Adachi, because she is young, she's never had this relationship before, she has all this anxiety that things seem to be going on in her background, you know, like not having a good relationship with her mum and things like this. She does have this anxiety. So maybe the obsession is just coming from the fact that she doesn't understand what's going on. She doesn't understand why she's feeling this way when she sees, like when she finds out that Shimamura is hanging with Tarame and things. So yeah, it is a very, it could be explained later. just right now with how the show was and how the most recent manga is, maybe it will be talked about further down the line, but right now it's kind of feel left at this obsessive stage. And there is actually this one panel in the manga that, Jesus Christ, I love this panel very much, but I sitting down and reading all this, what I'll do is I'll put the picture up on the screen, but I'll blank out all the text so that you don't actually see like everything that's going on, because obviously I do kind of want you to go and actually read it for yourself. Here's the panel, and you will see it is, honestly, it is such a good panel. I love it, like, very much. Apart from all the reading, there was a lot of reading in that. Now, I like reading, don't get me wrong, but there was a lot in this page. But yeah, there was just, I thought it was a very, very good, it was a good breakdown. It was a really, really, really good breakdown. I really enjoyed this panel very much. Anyway, I watched all 12 episodes, and I really, really thoroughly enjoyed them. I got to the end of it, and I was like, is that it? It just seemed to end. And there was like there's always this warm fuzziness that I feel when I watch a slice of life. Because, like, for example, let's take Recovery of an MMO Junkie. The episodes that you watch in that one, you start, you end, and it's got a really, really, really nice ending to it. And I always feel so warm and fuzzy inside when I watch it because it's so good and I love it so much. However, I didn't get that with this one. With this one, like with Recovery of an MMO Junkie, I can watch that 1,000,001 times. And I'm happy. I watch it, I finish it, and then I'll watch it again because it's great. But with Adachi and Shimamura, I really, really, really wanted to go and find out more because it was just like, it just ended. And I wanted some kind of like, you know, better connection ending, but we didn't get that. So I was like, I need to go and read. So I went and I read, there's actually only 5 volumes of the manga, so I went and read the last one because it seems like the 4th volume is like, that's the end of the anime, and I'm actually want to go back and read all them as well because I find that usually you get a little bit more of background in the manga, you get a little bit more story in the manga as well, because obviously in the anime they're just trying to, like, you know, get as much as they can in. So I do want to go back and read the other 4, so there might actually be more, like, there might be more to the story that I'm not getting because I've only watched the anime. But I went and read book 5. Volume 5, sorry. And it was very nice. I really, really enjoyed it. And this is actually where a lot of the kind of like obsession side of it comes into it. I thought it was very, very interesting. But again, it stopped. It just stopped. And I was like, oh, that's fine. I'll just go and find out like how long I'm going to have to wait until the next one. So I clicked on book 5 and it came out on the 18th of June, 2024. I was like, it was only a month ago. What the fuck? Not even a month, it was like a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I was like, Jesus Christ, like that's awesome. I can sit and, you know, I can read that, not a problem. And I was like, well, what we'll do is I'll double check when volume 4 came out, because I'm sure the anime was like 2022 or 2023. So I was like, that's you know, my brain was trying to work through it of the timeline of when this book was going to be. However, I was absolutely devastated to find out that the volume 4 came out November 2022. So that's a year and a half between volume 4 and volume 5. I'm waiting now actually, because that's the chapters. So there's 8 chapters in this volume. If we're looking at November 2022 to June 2024, it's like, what, a chapter every 2 months? I think regardless, I've got quite a long time to wait until the next one comes out, which makes me very sad. And probably even longer until like a next season is actually announced. So yeah, I want to keep up to date with that one because I did really enjoy that. I would like to read more of that. And yeah, there was like 200 pages on volume 5. So if you've actually seen this anime and you, like me, you didn't know that this was literally just out like a few weeks ago, please go and watch it, read it, because it's awesome. You can get it on Bookwalker. It was only like, it was like $7 or something, which is like a fiver, like £5. So go do that. It was awesome. I really thoroughly enjoyed being able to actually read a little bit more. I want to read more of it. I did see on Bookwalker there's light novel as well. I don't know if maybe the light novel has like more story to it. Don't know, but it's something that I'm thinking about reading. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Adachi and Shimamura. Very worth the watch if it's something you're into. Slice of life, awesome. Go go check it out because I really enjoyed it. So if you've not seen it, please do. It was pretty awesome. Again, I wasn't too keen on that side of their, you know, personalities, but it might actually just be something that does actually come into it later on. It's just it's not had the opportunity to get to that point yet. So go check it out. I loved it. Well, love, yeah, yeah. I consider it a win when a show makes me want to watch more or makes me want to go and read more. That is when I consider a show a win. So this is a win. But next, I do have more. Oh, right, that was something else I actually wanted to mention. So when I was actually looking for all the shows to actually watch, on the Funimation app also had an LGBT like genre on it that you could go on and you just click on it. It just comes up with all the good shit. And Crunchyroll doesn't have that. And it might just be that they are just, you know, mixing it in with the romance, the slice of life, all that sort of stuff. But it was quite difficult unless I knew that the show was Yuri. Like they had, what was it called? Yuri Is My Job, I think it's called. They have that. And I know, you know, I just typed in Yuri and that's what came up. So I was like, cool, I'll add that to my watch list. But unless I know the name of the show, then I'm having to like Google it and things, and I would just come across it randomly if I was watching something else. Like if I was just looking for a slice of life to watch, I would have, like, you know, come across that. But High Dive has actually quite a big LGBT section. Big, you know what I mean. There's several shows there, so I was actually very happy to find that there, and I have been going through that, and I have been going watch list. And when I was on Bookwalker, they actually do also have like a Yuri section, and I was having a look at it, and I was like, oh, this one sounds good, and this one sounds good, and this one sounds good. And then I went on to High Dive, and I was like, oh, there's an anime for that book that I've just fucking bought. So, yeah, I have a few to watch on my list. Another one that I had been recommended on several places, and it's probably going to be the next one that I watch, is Bloom Into You, because that one, it looks very pretty and it has been highly recommended. It's something I don't actually know anything about at all, so I am going to go and watch it at some point. But yeah, so High Dive is fantastic for Yuri. I'm a big fan of the fact that they actually have this whole like section for it. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Adachi and Shimamura. It is something that, again, I would really like to know more of, so hurry up with the volumes. I want to read. I'm probably going to draw something from this as well. The actual like character designs are very, very, very pretty. I really do like the character designs of Adachi and Shimamura, and actually the other characters as well. The side characters really, really pretty. Anyway, I really just wanted to talk about that show because it's been on my brain. I literally finished reading it like today at lunchtime. So I just wanted to get my thoughts out whilst they were here. I hope you enjoyed it. My brain tumble that happened there. Just everything tumbling out into my mic. Thanks. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, remember to hit the like button below and subscribe for more. At least once a month there's a speed drawing, and there will be more Yuri videos as well, because this is just an obsession of mine right now. I love it very much. And I do other, you know, bits and bobs videos. So yeah, subscribe. I also stream. I stream every Wednesday and Saturday. My Wednesday streams are my art streams, and my Saturday streams are my game streams, which at the moment is Pokemon or Stardew Valley. I've actually got my little Junimos in tonight. You can also check out my other videos. I've got my speed drawings. I love these very much, so go and check them out. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!